With an update on a premium live event and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Taking to X, former AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland said this regarding his status with the promotion, writing, "History made, one of the most lucrative wrestling contracts in the industry finalized right here at the Comic-Con in LA. Shout out to the man, Tony Richa, for making this happen, and my homies, Zombie Juice and Flash Garments, being here to witness this moment. Let's go, AEW." Speaking about the talent that Gunther has in WWE, The Undertaker noted on his 6 Feet Under podcast, "I'd love to see him wrestle Undertaker. That's who I would have loved to have seen him wrestle. I told him that a few weeks ago. When I saw him in Austin, I was like, man, I would have drawn a lot of money with you." He was very gracious. He was like, "Thank you." He thanked me. I told him, "You're my guy." He goes, "I hear you've said really nice things about me." I said, "Yeah, don't screw it up." Going over the influence of Roman Reigns over the Triple Threat Tag Team Ladder Match from Smackdown, where the Bloodline came out on top, Ibu of WrestlePurist said, "Roman has supreme power. His power is so strong, he gets to book other people on SmackDown. This is a total shoot. I asked 2 weeks ago, or 1 week ago, who's winning the Tag Team Ladder Match between the Bloodline, the Street Profits, and DIY. The person I spoke to said, that's up to Roman. So who won exactly?" Mentioning why he does not see himself as the greatest of all time in WWE, Kurt Angle told WFAN, "If I didn't take the drugs, I think I would be considered the greatest of all time, because I would have spent 20 plus years in the WWE, and I only spent 7, and that's enough time. The years I had at that generation, I was the best in that generation, I could say that. But looking back, can I consider myself the greatest of all time? No, because I don't think I put in enough years." Following Bad Blood, Cody Rhodes would be attacked by Kevin Owens. Here's the clip.
He's about to stun him. Wouldn't that be great? What's going on here? Come on, Cody! He's gonna stun him. That's why he put the belt down. He's gonna stun him.
Ringside News added that Fightful Select reports that WWE was quite pleased with the way the altercation between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes unfolded after WWE Bad Blood. They found the incident to be spontaneous and generated significant buzz. Rhodes ended up looking a bit roughed up following the encounter, which added to the realism of the moment that WWE appreciated. Triple H has already addressed Kevin Owens' attack on Cody Rhodes, where he said, "We are aware of the incident outside of the arena last night between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. The matter will be dealt with internally." Talking about SummerSlam 2025, which will be held in New Jersey, Ringside News wrote that SummerSlam will be held in New Jersey's MetLife Stadium on on August 2nd and 3rd, 2025, and there is obviously a ton of hype for the premium live event already. With that said, it appears that New Jersey secured next year's Summerslam by spending $7 million in COVID relief funds. According to North Jersey, the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority has approved a resolution to allocate $7.125 million to help MetLife Stadium secure and host WWE SummerSlam, according to North Jersey. This funding comes from the American Rescue Plan, which provided financial support to states during the COVID-19 pandemic. The funds are intended to address the negative economic impacts of the public health emergency by supporting industries like tourism, travel, and hospitality. The resolution anticipates that WWE SummerSlam will generate over $80 million in total economic impact for the region, making the $7.125 million investment appear promising. New Jersey received $6.24 billion in federal pandemic relief funding in May 2021, which contributed to this initiative. Regarding SummerSlam, it will be up to Triple H, Levesque, and his creative team to organize the matches for the two-night event. Liv Morgan has already expressed her desire to compete in a mixed tag team match against CM Punk and AJ Lee at next year's SummerSlam, so it remains to be seen how next year's SummerSlam premium live event will turn out, as fans are already excited about it in a big way. Giving details on his 6 tsunamis to Seth Rollins on Raw on August 5th, Bronson Reed said this to Chris Van Vliet on Insight. "No, I was not originally supposed to give 6 tsunamis to Seth Rollins. No, I think it was supposed to be significantly less. And then the way that it turned out with Hunter's vision is it just was more and more and more, and it was one of those things where you're listening to the audience and you can just feel a change in the audience as I was doing it. Hit the first 2, they're sort of booing. It looks like that's it, and then I go up for the 3rd one and people sort of like, what the hell's going on here? Then I go up for the 4th one, they can't comprehend what's happening, and by the 5th one, they're chanting for more. There's like bloodlust amongst the crowd for someone that they love as well. They love Seth Rollins, and I was glad that it actually ended up working, where after the 6th one, I left and they still started chanting, singing his music that he comes out to, so that also worked. Exactly, they were chanting one more time. As much as they love someone like Seth Rollins or any of the top guys that are super over, I guess that move now has its own lore, the tsunami, and I always tell people if you get to see it live, it's different to seeing it on TV. It's very impactful, so I guess 6 in a row, which I've never done, was a lot. No, it was not finalized that I'd be giving 6 tsunamis to Rollins when I first went to the ring. As it's happening is when I'm informing Rollins that I'd be continuously doing the move. So it's one of those things like, yeah, he has to be willing to be able to be there, and I have to be willing to do more, but it had definitely worked out, and it made for such a great moment in television. I think I had so much buzz around that, and then people online as well saying they haven't seen something like that in WWE for so long, where you can take someone and just propel them in one night with just one segment. Not a match, nothing else, just brutality. Talking about the contributions of Jeremy Borash to WWE Creative, Shawn Michaels told the Ringer Wrestling Show, "Jeremy is somebody that Triple H brought here years ago. A lot of things that we do here at NXT are now making their way to the main roster. A lot of it started with Triple H. He wanted NXT to always kind of be different, but also be a testing ground to try things and see what works and what doesn't. When it comes to creativity, we're going to try a lot of different stuff. I think that goes for NXT, Raw, and Smackdown. Not all of it may hit, but when we stumble on something fantastic, everybody is going to notice it." Asked if she would return to in-ring action in WWE, Gail Kim said this to KNS WrestleFest. "I don't think WWE would have me back as an in-ring performer. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. I don't know how much they hold grudges or anything like that. Listen, we all grow from your situations, and I have grown, obviously. I'm a 47-year-old woman now. I was in my early 30s, I think, then when I eliminated myself from the Battle Royal, and you know, when you care so much about about women's wrestling and it's just not treated right, and I just felt like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. I only have a certain amount of time. I was in my 30s. I knew I felt like I was in my prime, and I felt like I had more to give to the fans, and I was just like, I can't sign another 3-year deal here. I can't waste 3 more years of my life and my career, and so yeah, that was the way it just all ended up. Recalling a pitch to have a romance angle with Stephanie McMahon in WWE, Rob Van Dam told the Cheap Heat Productions podcast, "They wanted to do a romantic angle with me and Stephanie McMahon, and my shoot wife was like the most insecure person on the planet. She hated it. Totally didn't trust me being on the road already, didn't trust anyone I worked with. It was one of those horror stories which a lot of people can relate to, and I prioritized in trying to make my marriage work above my job." Revealing the reason for CM Punk collapsing on the entrance ramp after his Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood against Drew McIntyre, Ringside News wrote that after the match ended, CM Punk was making his way to the back when he suddenly collapsed on the floor. Officials and medical staff quickly rushed to his side. Punk attempted to stand and walk a bit further but collapsed again, prompting the medical team to give him oxygen. While speaking on Fightful Select's Q&A podcast, Sean Ross Sapp was asked about CM Punk collapsing after the brutal Hell in a Cell match. Sapp noted that it was simply a work and there was nothing to worry about whatsoever. The collapsing at the end was a work, Sapp said. "We've also reported that Drew McIntyre was banged up after the match and required 16 stitches after he suffered a bloody wound on his head. In addition to that, WWE officials were very happy with the Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Some backstage felt that the two wrestlers revived the sense of danger and intensity that classic Hell in a Cell matches were famous for." Providing a recap as well as an update on the lawsuit against Vince McMahon, Ringside News wrote that the allegations made by Janel Grant against Vince McMahon have significantly tarnished his reputation as a business mogul. Accusations and sexual abuse have eclipsed McMahon's legacy as a prominent figure in the entertainment industry. In light of these claims, Grant's legal team has requested to waive the non-disclosure agreements involved in the lawsuit. Janel Grant accused Vince McMahon, WWE, and John Laurinaitis of serious misconduct, including emotional abuse and with allegations dating back to March of 2019, and a lot of things have come to light after the lawsuit was made in January this year. WWE previously joined McMahon in filing a motion to compel arbitration, signaling a concerted effort to resolve the dispute privately. There have been many updates about Janel Grant's case against Vince McMahon since it was filed, with new details coming out over the months. The latest news from the Associated Press says that Grant's lawyers are asking for non-disclosure agreements not to be enforced for other former and current WWE employees. This would allow them to share their own experiences if they have similar allegations. Vince McMahon denies Grant's claims. Grant's lawyer sent an email to the lawyers representing WWE, McMahon, and Laurinaitis with this request. McMahon spokesperson Curtis Vogel did not comment, and there was no quick response from the other lawyers. Endeavor and TKO Group Holdings were also contacted but didn't reply immediately. In a statement, Grant's attorney Ann Callis said that if WWE and Endeavor really want to distance themselves from McMahon and the negative workplace culture he created, they should agree to let former employees speak freely by releasing them from their NDAs. Callis believes this is an important step to help fix a company that has hidden years of sexual assault and if WWE and its parent company Endeavor are serious about parting ways with Vince McMahon and the toxic workplace culture he created, their executives should have no problem with releasing former WWE employees from their NDAs. This is the first step to rehabilitating a company that covered up decades of sexual assault and human. This legal action in Connecticut Superior Court in Stamford follows the federal lawsuit, which is currently on hold pending federal investigation and will later this year. In the meantime, Vince McMahon has been trying to fix his tarnished reputation, but the Netflix documentary did him no favors. Revealing how her home was nearly caught on fire by former WWE star CJ Perry, Liv Morgan said this during a Fanatics Fest autograph session. "I put out a fire in my house a couple of weeks ago when I had a friend over named CJ who wanted to make me dinner. She was trying to do something nice by heating taco shells, but she accidentally put them on broil instead of bake, causing the whole oven to catch on fire. So I flew home early from Raw and put out the fire." During that same session, Liv Morgan said this regarding her pitches to a man named Joe from the merchandise team, saying, "You know what, Joe from merch, if you're watching this, I've been pitching so many LivDom t-shirts, but I wasn't going to go full government with it, but Joe, I've given you so much good stuff for LivDom merch, and I know you guys, fans, want LivDom merch. They're literally trying for the merch, so if you want the big bucks." And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.